Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today I've got a review for you that I'm actually quite excited to go ahead and do. It's one that I've been looking forward to doing. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It is Frapin's Humaniste. Here's the bottle. Very simple bottle. It's glass. It pretty much is see-through. Just says Humaniste on the front. It says Frapin on the top. Wooden cap. Standard issue just like most of the other Frapin bottles. So very simple, very straight to the point. I like it, not really much to say about it. The fragrance was released in the year 2009. The parfumée is Sidonie Lamkesoeur. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she's created a bunch of fragrances that are actually quite high on my list as well. Cruel Intention, she's created Straight to Heaven from by Kilian. I'm not positive, but she may have created another one from Olfactive Studios. I think it's Still Life, but I'm not positive. I can't find the creator of that one. Either way, I'm a big fan of her work, judging on stuff that she's done. With that, let's get on to the notes. The notes, I don't have it listed in any particular order, consist of citrus, bergamot, cardamom, bayberry, black pepper, juniper, nutmeg, thyme, peony, gin, oak moss, and tonka bean. Alright, so let's get to the scent. What does this remind me of? This, for those of you who have never smelled this, as a point of reference, I want you to think Edition Blanche, Chanel Allurum's Edition Blanche, but a little bit more higher quality, if you can believe that. This has a lot of the same elements that Edition Blanche has. This is a very citrusy, a very sharp citrus at the top that has a little bit of a creaminess to it and a little bit of a spiciness to it. As you go through it, the spicy undertone kind of goes through, but it's never too overpoweringly spicy, but it remains sharp. It has a sweetness to it as well. Even though it's citrus, it does have a sweetness to it. I believe that's from the tonka bean that's within the fragrance. But think of a sharp citrus, a little bit of sweetness, some spicy undertones, a little bit of woods at the base, and the sharpness that comes from the gin and the I forgot what the juniper comes from, the juniper and the gin. So it comes off as a very pleasing, a very pleasant fragrance, one that I absolutely love. Now, as time goes on, it doesn't really dry down and turn into something else. It kind of stays around the normal top spray, basically, is what I'm trying to think of. It reminds right off the top, basically, is kind of what you get throughout the entirety of the fragrance. It loses a little bit of its sharpness and a little bit of its edge as time goes on, but it kind of remains the same way, at least on my skin. It doesn't really change that much. All right, very soft undertone at the same time as being sharp, if you can believe it. It does this weird thing with it, but I absolutely love it. All right. For sprays, I go quite liberal with this one. I use anywhere between 4 and 6 sprays usually, sometimes maybe even a little bit more. It's not something that overpowers people again, and sometimes I try and compensate because it doesn't really last that long on my skin. Think about 4 to 6 hours. Sometimes I'll try and compensate by spraying more. Not really the best idea at all times, but I enjoy it and it doesn't ever get overpowering for that. The occasion, I say you can use this for any occasion. The only occasion that I don't think it would do too well, it actually doesn't do too well, are like clubs or areas where, you know, there's a lot of other people wearing fragrance and perfume, because it's not one that really cuts through any other fragrances. So if you're going to be around other people who are wearing fragrances, it's not going to, you know, overpower theirs. Theirs is almost definitely going to overpower yours on it. But it still is great fragrance in that, you know, right of mind. For the season, spring, summer, warm weather, think warm weather when you're wearing this one. Warm weather is, yes, definitely where you wear this one. And for the ages, I would recommend any age group to go ahead and wear this one. This one was extremely popular with people all around. And just to give you an example, here's what some of them thought.
This fragrance is actually something I usually don't ever like. I usually like very woodsy scents, and this one's actually very fresh and clean, and I actually like it. I would probably give it a B.
This one is it's a really sweet smelling fragrance. I wouldn't say it's not sweet as like 1 million, but I would call it manly sweet. It's a very good cologne. It's very bold. It seems like the projection probably would be pretty good. I would think that you'd have to also watch your sprays with this one, but really decent cologne. I kind of smell like orange, I kind of smell patchouli, I kind of smell a lot of different things in it. This one to me is like very high quality. I would probably give this an A+, you know, and it would definitely would be something I would wear, you know.
Reminds me of like dessert. Like actually, it reminds me of the lemon cream cake I made for my mom on her birthday a few weeks ago. It's like citrusy. It reminds me of dessert. And also, but then also like fresh, clean, like kitchen, like liquid dish soap that's like lemon scented. So it's like very lemony. But then there's like a little soft undertone. It feels like, it smells like. I like it. It makes me also think of yeah, just like a relaxing bath, like with citrus, like they have, you know, like the bath soaps and bath salts that sometimes like smell citrusy. Kind of reminds me of like Meyer Lemon, like that brand. I guess it's more feminine than masculine. I like it. I think it kind of grows on you. It's different, again, very different. I think I give it like an A-. Yeah. Oh, and now it smells like, it's like changing actually. Now it smells cinnamony. I smell cinnamon now. Citrus and cinnamon. I don't know, it's cool. Yeah. Cool.
So, great. Overall, great ratings. A+, A-, a B, and she later came back and said what she would give it actually an A- when she was off camera. So yeah, both, you know, Lisa and Crystal had great comments for it, and Kaya as well. Everyone, and outside of them, everyone that I spoke to actually had great comments on this one. This was a universally loved comment, and every time I wear it, I usually get at least one compliment for it, which is pretty high considering based off of it. So this is one that is universally loved. Manly sweet, bold. This smells like dessert, lemon cream, fresh, clean, soft, relaxing. One person, or Lisa, said it did remind her of a feminine type of a scent. Different spices. She actually said that it had like a cinnamon type of an undertone to it, and I believe she was referring to the nutmeg, but again, that spiciness is really what I'm trying to emphasize that this really comes off as. In fact, after this, she, you know, asked for a sample. Actually, a couple people asked for samples that they could actually use and go through, and two ended up going to Min and buying the fragrance down here in New York. So this was one that elicited a very strong reaction. Very popular fragrance, and it's popular for a reason. It's a fantastic scent, and it's not too expensive for it. Yeah, actually, I don't think I covered the prices on it, but yes, it's not too expensive. As always, the link's down below. All right. Now for ratings, for scent, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a perfect 10. I really can't ask for anything more on it, and it's scents like these that have actually gotten me excited again within or looking at summer scents. For summer scents, I was always kind of on the fence. Meh, they're okay, you know, your typical things, but it's these type of scents that have really rejuvenated my love for scents that I wear in the summer and in the spring. Definitely Luministe. Expect to see this one on my top 10 for my summer list. This is when summer is pretty much when I wear this one. I alternate, use Edition Blanche within the fall, and use this one, or sorry, Edition Blanche in the spring, and this is my summer baby. All right. For performance, I'm going to give this one a 7. And the reason why I'm giving this one a 7 and not a perfect 10 or anything like that, obviously, I mentioned it before, on my skin, this one only lasts about 5-6 hours. One of the few ones that I do carry a decant around to try and reapply it. I have heard some other people saying that it lasts 12 hours on their skin, and it does last a little bit longer on my skin, but it comes up very close type of a skin scent. So, so for performance, I can't really give it better than a 7 on it, but the performance is still pretty nice in terms of when it is on, people can smell you. It does project a pretty good amount, and they're going to compliment you on this one. This is one of those compliment factors. For uniqueness, I'm going to give this one a 7 as well. Reminds me of two other fragrances, Still Life and Lumia or Edition Blanche. Think of creamy citrus at its base is where it comes in. It has a little bit of gin. Again, for uniqueness, I'm going to give it a 7. For versatility, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 9 for versatility. Any scenario that I can think of except for, you know, the bar or someplace where there's a lot of other fragrances around. This one will do perfectly well on it. It has a sort of image about it, an air about it. It can be very professional, it can be very manly, it can be very, it's there pretty much. All right. And for compliments, a perfect 10. Can't ask for anything else out of compliments out of this one. Very good on the compliment factor. Highly recommend it. It again got me compliments at least one time every single time that I wore it. And for the overall rating, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 9.5. Not a perfect 10. It's still lacking because of the performance issues that I say on it. It doesn't last as long as I thought it would. If it hit up to 8 hours, I would say this is a perfect scent you can actually go across and get. But because of it, it just doesn't hit that perfect mark. So 9.5 on it. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free. Leave a message down below. Send me a comment. Do whichever you got to do. Again, fantastic scent. I highly recommend it. This is one of my favorites. Definitely there. So yeah, let me know what you think. Just leave a comment down below. Send me a message. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Later.